I just want to share with you a wee bit about my background. I'm responsible obviously for Lisa's childminding service. Prior to that, I had come from the early years background for 16 years. From the age of 16, I worked across partnership nurseries, a local authority nursery. I also did residential childcare for 2 years, but decided that my roots were back in early years, so I kind of gradually made my way back to the early years setting. So my most recent role before I made the transition into childminding was within a senior early childhood educator. So the only thing that I can really say, and I don't know if you can relate to this or not, I'm sure you can, when I set out to become a childminder, this is very much how I felt, because I no longer had that team behind me anymore. And I thought, oh, God, how am I going to face these challenges alone now? And it was quite daunting. However, I learned through networking with the local childminders. You know, I wasn't alone, that there were networks out there, and it was just about getting yourself out there and engaging with them. But that one-man band kind of stood with me until that moment where I realised that, you know, there were concerns that I had about a child, that I had to then go to that hard place with a parent. And at that moment in time, I realised, right, okay, I don't have the observations and the support from my team. I'm doing this myself here. You know, I'm in this moment. I have to go there with the parent, and it actually was fine, because the more we started to talk and the more we obviously, you know, engaged with GIRFEC, and I was able to kind of share that wee bit of knowledge that I had about GIRFEC and reassure the parent, you know, that there were other possibilities there. You know, it was about exploring, you know, what other support that we could pull in together with other professionals to try and basically achieve my aims and my vision. I wanted to make sure that as a service that I was doing the best possible thing that I could for that child, to make sure that she was getting the right support, because it was out with my knowledge. I knew at that point that there was obviously things that needed, you know, to be done for that child. So this kind of, for me, was a process that I started to go through to support that parent. I had my goal, I knew where we wanted to be. My vision was obviously, you know, maintained throughout. I knew that obviously I needed to get this child, you know, support so that she was meeting her potential. The strategies that we had in place, you know, Mum was obviously supporting the child at home along with Dad, and, you know, I was kind of doing the same things, and also pulling in that support from the childminders at the group, where they were obviously supporting me with the basic daily routines to make the best that we could. You know, my voice needed to be heard, and I really felt it was important that for us that we are invited along to these meetings, you know, to discuss children's development. So for me, that was really that kind of moment where I realised that I am a leader. I can drive this forward and get that support, empower this parent, advocate for her while she was at work, and ensure that we were getting the best possible outcome. And I'm pleased to say that the end result was that that child did have the support in place for making a successful transition onto primary school. I've mentioned quite a lot about the Moodiesburn Childminding Group and about the local network. Without the support of the childminders, not just for the scenario that I've spoken about, but in general, as part of our every daily routine, you know, we are in touch with each other. We have a Facebook group together, we have WhatsApp. It's not just within the group, but it's more than that. We work very well as part of a team. There's 14 of us now. That has progressed over the years. And I think when I just joined them in 2013, it was going in with that new fresh set of eyes, where I could see, you know, the potential for putting in, you know, like developing kind of areas, and that there was a lack of resources in certain areas. And the minute that I started to kind of come up with these ideas, there was this newfound confidence within everyone. Where we are now as leaders together, we are now making ourselves visible within the community of Moodiesburn, and it has taken a long time to get to that stage. People are now seeing us, and we're inviting them along we had our Christmas sing-along in December, which was the second one that was very successful. We had teachers come along, we've had representatives from SCMA come along, you know, and some parents have said to us that we're on par with the local nurseries, and that is fantastic to hear that we're actually achieving those standards. So on that note, I'm just going to leave you with a wee quote that kind of summarises for me how I feel as a leader in my service. The quality of a leader is reflected in the standards they set for themselves. And I can only hope that that inspires all you guys, and really that you embrace the challenges in the future of childminding together, because we are professionals and we know these children.